Davis together with Peter Schmuck from the Baltimore Sun. And Peter, the Orioles pitching has gotten a lot better than I guess many fans or people expected. Why?
Absolutely, Tom. And you know, a lot of the preseason prognosticators really went after the Orioles this year like they have the last 4 years. They obviously didn't notice, Tom, that the Orioles have won more games than any other team in the American League over that period. Again, undersold them based entirely on the projection that the pitching would not hold up and that there wasn't enough quality pitching in the rotation. That hasn't been the case so far, certainly, even though the club has had to have Tyler Wilson and Mike Wright, both of them in the rotation. That was not expected, but of course, because of the injury to Giovanni Gallardo, they had to go to Plan B. Well, Plan B's been pretty good. 5-2, 3.03 ERA over the last 10 games. They have pitched very, very well. And if they can get Mike Wright to get a little more efficient and jump in with the other guys who are averaging, I think, 15.8 pitches per inning. That's a big deal to me. I mean, I'm a big pitch per inning guy. If they can continue to do this and just get a little more from Mike Wright, they're in real good shape.
But the trend right now is saying that they're really pitching extremely well over the last 2 weeks. I mean, when you get down to it, it's not just sporadically.
No, absolutely. There's only been a couple of exceptions. And, you know, you have a team that twice in the last 2 weeks has won a 1-0 game. When did we see that last year?
Exactly. Good
you know,
point.
you've got some pitchers who have really, you know, kind of hunkered down. And, you know, there are some areas where they really got to tighten it up a little bit. Ubaldo Jimenez, of course, a little bit up and down as he's been throughout his career here. But Kevin Gausman's been pitching very, very well. We're going to see him tomorrow. They've been, you know, obviously Chris Tillman has been simply lights out, even though a couple struggles in the early innings, just has been dominant. And that is just a tremendous sign for this Orioles team going forward.
Peter, we want to go back to the May 13th, after the games were played on May 13th, 2015, and just look at this now. And you see that out of the division leaders, 4 of them went to postseason play, and the other 2 went as wild card teams. So all 6 that were division leaders went to postseason play out of 10 teams. What does that tell you right now?
Well, it's certainly short term a good sign for the Orioles because they're obviously playing very, very well right now. It's not totally counterintuitive. It's not that small a sample, Tom. You know, the Orioles have played extremely well at home despite terrible weather conditions. They've got the best home record in all of baseball. They are not a fluke. Now, obviously, all teams are vulnerable to injury and anything can happen. Used to be that they would talk about the teams being in first place of the All-Star break. That would be the bellwether looking forward as far as who probably will make the playoffs. Now, this is obviously 2 months earlier than that, but it's still a sample of almost a quarter of the season, and the Orioles have played very well, and I expected them to play well if they pitched, and they have pitched.
How about the Orioles lineup tonight, Peter? A little bit of a change. Looks like it's a new look lineup tonight.
Yes, it is. It's got Hyun-Soo Kim is in the lineup tonight, as well as Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez playing third base for the first time. It's the first time both of them have been in the lineup together, and that's not an accident. The fact that the Orioles won the first 2 games of this 4-game series, that really kind of freed up Buck Showalter to play around a little bit more with his lineup. He didn't want to admit that during his pregame press conference, but he did eventually say, yeah, sometimes when you've got at least the series in hand, sort of, especially when you got 2 games in a 3-game series and you're going for the sweep, he often, as you've noticed, on that Sunday game, if they won the first 2 games, you see a very, very different lineup. Part of that is because he wants to get players playing time, obviously, but there are situations where he wouldn't do this. But this is an optimum situation. The Orioles have won 6 games in a row. They've won 8 out of their last 10. They're playing very, very well. This is the time to do this.
As always, Peter Schmuck, great job. Check him out, Baltimore Sun, baltimoresun.com.